right, we're getting some visuals there of the Prime Minister there on his visit to Germany. Let me go across to Senior Executive Editor Abhishek, who has the details. Now, Abhishek, this is a big event which is happening in Germany, and a big meeting happening there with the Chancellor. And also, you know, Germany is the place where a huge part of Indian diaspora lives.
Well, yes, Shivangi. So in Europe, typically about 1 million Indian diaspora, and a good number of them in Germany. Germany happens to be India's biggest trading partner in the European Union, and that explains the presence of Indian community. So obviously that component of bilateral relationship there. But what is important is that in terms of business and trade and the technology exchange, Germany is a very important country for India's development needs, and I think that's going to be on the agenda, apart from, of course, a free trade agreement that even the Germans are very keen on. In the pictures, we see animated conversation going on between Chancellor Olaf Scholz, who has taken over from Angela Merkel after her long reign in Germany only about 6 months back. And this is the first time that the two leaders are meeting in Olaf Scholz's present capacity. In fact, Mr. Scholz was Germany's Vice Chancellor and Finance Minister under Angela Merkel, and he has in fact met Prime Minister in that capacity on the sidelines of G20 summit last year, again in Europe. So I think this is an important conversation that we are seeing panning out about strengthening the India-Germany partnership going forward. And of late, we have seen Germany getting interested in Indo-Pacific, for example. They had just brought out a national security paper on Germany's stance on Indo-Pacific. And remember, with the rise of China, Indo-Pacific has gained a lot of strategic currency of late. And for Germans to have a position on that, I think India being the pivot of Indo-Pacific in many ways and part of the Quad, that also would be on the table insofar as discussions go. So, for example, free trade agreement, Indo-Pacific, climate change, energy security, bilateral trade. Germany happens to be the biggest trading partner, as I mentioned, in the European Union region for India. In fact, it is in the top 10 nations that trade with India globally, and about 20 billion euros worth of FDI investment, making it again top 10 FDI investor also in India. And India also reciprocates at about 6 billion euros. So it's not that India is far behind in terms of a reverse investment in Germany. So I think it's a very important, durable, long-term business relationship, also trade relationship also. And with the world post-COVID looking at China plus one strategy, where they want to have an option against China in terms of manufacturing, in terms of trade, in terms of supply chains. I think this dialogue is going to be very important. It's happening after a gap of 2 years because of the COVID pandemic. It had to be kept in abeyance. In fact, this is the sixth IGC, or the intergovernmental dialogue or consultation, that happens between India and Germany. Earlier on the right, we are seeing pictures of Prime Minister being introduced to the German delegation by Chancellor Olaf Scholz. And then as they move on, Prime Minister introducing the Indian delegation with the External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar.
Right,
in the pictures, Shivangi. So I think this dialogue will go on for about a couple of hours, and then there will be a joint press statement. Over to you.
Right, Abhishek, thank you for getting us all those details. PM Modi there talking to the German Chancellor. Very important meeting, and later on, the German Chancellor will be inviting PM Modi for a private dinner.